And just wondering if you can, while you're here, can you share with the group how this how these Jamboards will be used after the workshop?
Sure. So as we mentioned throughout the day, there will be objective is to compile the questions and serious concerns that were raised today into a report for yourselves as participants. We will send out that report in draft form to yourselves for further feedback. And then once we receive your feedback and ensure comfort level, then that will be submitted to the province and BC Hydro. In regards to key takeaways today, we really wanted to try to compile some key takeaways to share with yourselves. It's been such a jam-packed day. Cole, did you want to offer any key takeaways, or should we just speak to a couple at a high level?
Sure, just speak to a few high-level ones. We know that it was a lot of content for one day, and more dialogue is needed. There's always so much to cover with so little time. So it's always a challenge in planning these events, particularly for an industry that is as complex as this is. So we certainly take that, and any follow-up questions that you have, please send to us, and we hope to continue meeting to discuss these important topics. And to all our speakers here, let's see, I think that's it. This plan is that, am I speaking to the BC Hydro? It must be getting close to the end of the day.
It is. I think so. We wanted to have a check-in on our objectives in light of time. Let's skip that. Some main takeaways. So we gained some clarity on the BC Hydro call to power and those two components. We gained clarity on the 140 million and current intentions and very early stages of planning in regards to those funds now. Certainly more further detail on how BC Hydro plans to engage with First Nations for engagement sessions that are associated with the call to power is required. That came through many of our registrants and participants today. So that's one primary next step to gain clarity from BC Hydro on how that First Nations engagement plan will unfold, and ensuring that First Nations are part of informing how engagement will take place and what their needs are to be full participants in that engagement. And then a second piece, again, summarize questions, comments, and concerns expressed today, and then provides yourselves with a draft report. Annika may have one or two comments as one of the ICEO leads on behalf of Emily, and then turn it back over to you, Tricia and Cole, for closing comments.
We also have a couple of hands up too that would like to honor before we close, but Annika, you first.
Sure. Thanks. Hi, everyone. Thank you for sitting through this what I'm sure felt like a very long day, but hopefully there was a lot of valuable information and discussion. I know there was on our end. So just want to very quickly touch on what the next steps for the ICO look like. I know Sarah and Cole just mentioned we're going to be taking some time to really collect all the questions, discussion, input, feedback, criticism, suggestions, and take those back and prepare a draft report to share back with all of you. We'll also be at the same time working on our year 2 work plan for the ICEO. And we heard today that there was significant interest in Indigenous utilities as well as non-integrated areas. And those two have been proposed, as Sarah mentioned earlier, as potential subtables to focus on more deeply in year 2 of the ICEO. So we'll take that back for consideration. We'll draft up that work plan. As part of the formal ICO approval governance structure, the work plan does go to the leadership from the First Nation Leadership Council, FNEMC, and the ministry. And so once we get endorsement from the leadership from those organizations, we'll post that work plan on our website as well, so that all of you can see kind of what our mandate is to focus on for the next year. And at any time, please reach out to us if you have interest in being more involved, if you have concerns, suggestions. I'll have one of my colleagues put the ICEO email address in the chat box. That's probably the best way for any of you to provide feedback. Would be happy to do so. And I just want to mention that we have day 2 of this workshop coming up tomorrow. So we hope to see your faces and your questions for the hydrogen section of this workshop tomorrow. And I'll probably wrap it up there. I've got some more notes, but I know that it's been a very long day. So I'll turn it back over to Tricia and Cole. Thank you all so much for your participation and your energy today. Thanks.
Thank you, Annika. Cool.
Good.
And I'm hoping that if the chiefs are not able to make it tomorrow, that you send your next best representative to support with tomorrow's workshop. That would be great. So this day, I guess one takeaway that I have from this day is that, with the alarming level of inequities that exist for many of our First Nations, we all must work together to harness and share existing knowledge to accelerate the implementation of the right solutions that will contribute to long-term social, cultural, economic, and environmental prosperity so that our future generations can thrive. And a successful collaboration between all key partners would make a difference to the lives of so many people that have endured the detrimental effects of fossil fuels, for example, for far too long. So I raise my hands to everybody today. All your conversations and comments have been a great reminder of why we are here and the importance of having to move forward in a good way. So raise my hands. I've put I put a little comment in the chat of what to expect for tomorrow. The focus on hydrogen is open to First Nations government and academics in the morning. And then we will open it up at 1 p.m. To industry to join in the collaboration sessions moving forward. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow and wish you the best this evening. Heads up, Gaussian.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.